The University of South Africa prides itself for being the African university shaping futures in the service of humanity. We congratulate all our students for having walked this journey with us. And today, we celebrate you for having successfully completed your qualifications. To you we say, Halala. To all our graduates and diplomandi in this ceremony, please pay attention to the following instructions. For degree qualifications, a graduations officer will signal degree candidates to rise and approach the stage. You will need to have your seat ticket and the yellow photography card in your right hand with your hood already draped over your shoulders. One of the official photography officers will take the yellow photography card from you. A graduations officer will then indicate to you where you need to wait at the bottom of the stairs and when you may proceed to go up onto the stage and stand on the mat with feet markers next to the podium. You will hand in your seat card to the dean or college representative. Turn and face the audience and look towards the photographer for your first onstage photograph. The dean or college representative will announce your details and hand you back your seat card. You will then proceed towards the chancellor, vice chancellor or acting vice chancellor and kneel with your right knee on the stool. At this point, your degree will be conferred. You will then proceed to the next official who will congratulate you by shaking your hand. Continue towards the registrar standing at the end of the stage. Turn and face the audience and remember to stand on the mat with feet markers in front of the registrar and smile for the camera. A second on-stage photograph will be taken at that moment. Leave the stage by the stairs closest to the registrar. Proceed to the table at the far right to receive your certificate. After receiving your certificate, proceed down the stairs to the foyer area where a head and shoulders photograph will be taken. You will then be directed to return to your seat. For postgraduate and undergraduate diploma candidates, you will also be wearing your hoods before entering the hall. You will be signaled by a graduations officer to rise and approach the stage. You need to have your seat ticket and the yellow photography card in your right hand. A graduations officer will then indicate to you where you need to wait at the bottom of the stairs and when you may proceed to go up to the stage and stand on the mat with feet markers next to the podium. You will hand your seat card to the dean or college representative. Turn and face the audience and look towards the photographer for your first on-stage photograph. The dean or college representative will announce your details and hand you back your seat card. Proceed towards the registrar standing at the end of the stage. Stop in front of the registrar and stand on the mat with feet markers. Turn and face the audience. Your second on-stage photograph will be taken at that moment. Leave the stage by the stairs closest to the registrar. Proceed to the table on the far right of the stage to receive your certificate. After receiving your certificate, proceed down the stairs to the foyer area where a head and shoulders photograph will be taken. You will then be directed to return to your seat. We hope that you will enjoy this occasion. The University of South Africa prides itself for being the African university shaping futures in the service of humanity. We congratulate all our students for having walked this journey with us. And today, we celebrate you for having successfully completed your qualifications. To you we say, Halala. To all our graduates and diplomandi in this ceremony, please pay attention to the following instructions. For degree qualifications, a graduations officer will signal degree candidates to rise and approach the stage. You will need to have your seat ticket and the yellow photography card in your right hand with your hood already draped over your shoulders. One of the official photography officers will take the yellow photography card from you. A graduations officer will then indicate to you where you need to wait at the bottom of the stairs and when you may proceed to go up onto the stage and stand on the mat with feet markers next to the podium. You will hand in your seat card to the dean or college representative. Turn and face the audience and look towards the photographer for your first onstage photograph. The dean or college representative will announce your details and hand you back your seat card. You will then proceed towards the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor or Acting Vice Chancellor and kneel with your right knee on the stool. At this point, your degree will be conferred. You will then proceed to the next official who will congratulate you by shaking your hand. Continue towards the registrar standing at the end of the stage. Turn and face the audience and remember to stand on the mat with feet markers in front of the registrar and smile for the camera. A second on-stage photograph will be taken at that moment. Leave the stage by the stairs closest to the registrar. Proceed to the table at the far right to receive your certificate. After receiving your certificate, proceed down the stairs to the foyer area where a head and shoulders photograph will be taken. You will then be directed to return to your seat. For postgraduate and undergraduate diploma candidates, you will also be wearing your hoods before entering the hall. You will be signaled by a graduations officer to rise and approach the stage. You need to have your seat ticket and the yellow photography card in your right hand. A graduations officer will then indicate to you where you need to wait at the bottom of the stairs and when you may proceed to go up to the stage and stand on the mat with feet markers next to the podium. You will hand your seat card to the dean or college representative. Turn and face the audience and look towards the photographer for your first on-stage photograph. The dean or college representative will announce your details and hand you back your seat card. Proceed towards the registrar standing at the end of the stage. Stop in front of the registrar and stand on the mat with feet markers. Turn and face the audience. Your second on-stage photograph will be taken at that moment. Leave the stage by the stairs closest to the registrar. Proceed to the table on the far right of the stage to receive your certificate. After receiving your certificate, proceed down the stairs to the foyer area where a head and shoulders photograph will be taken. You will then be directed to return to your seat. We hope that you will enjoy this occasion. The University of South Africa prides itself for being the African university, shaping futures in the service of humanity. We congratulate all our students for having walked this journey with us. And today, we celebrate you for having successfully completed your qualifications. To you we say, Halala. To all our graduates and diplomandi in this ceremony, please pay attention to the following instructions. For degree qualifications, a graduations officer will signal degree candidates to rise and approach the stage. You will need to have your seat ticket and the yellow photography card in your right hand with your hood already draped over your shoulders. One of the official photography officers will take the yellow photography card from you. A graduations officer will then indicate to you where you need to wait at the bottom of the stairs and when you may proceed to go up onto the stage and stand on the mat with feet markers next to the podium. You will hand in your seat card to the dean or college representative. Turn and face the audience and look towards the photographer for your first on-stage photograph. The dean or college representative will announce your details and hand you back your seat card. You will then proceed towards the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor or Acting Vice Chancellor and kneel with your right knee on the stool. At this point, your degree will be conferred. You will then proceed to the next official who will congratulate you by shaking your hand. Continue towards the registrar standing at the end of the stage. Turn and face the audience and remember to stand on the mat with feet markers in front of the registrar and smile for the camera. A second on-stage photograph will be taken at that moment. Leave the stage by the stairs closest to the registrar. Proceed to the table at the far right to receive your certificate. After receiving your certificate, proceed down the stairs to the foyer area where a head and shoulders photograph will be taken. You will then be directed to return to your seat. For postgraduate and undergraduate diploma candidates, you will also be wearing your hoods before entering the hall. You will be signaled by a graduations officer to rise and approach the stage. You need to have your seat ticket and the yellow photography card in your right hand. A graduations officer will then indicate to you where you need to wait at the bottom of the stairs and when you may proceed to go up to the stage and stand on the mat with feet markers next to the podium. You will hand your seat card to the dean or college representative. Turn and face the audience and look towards the photographer for your first on-stage photograph. The dean or college representative will announce your details and hand you back your seat card. Proceed towards the registrar standing at the end of the stage. Stop in front of the registrar and stand on the mat with feet markers. Turn and face the audience. Your second on-stage photograph will be taken at that moment. Leave the stage by the stairs closest to the registrar. Proceed to the table on the far right of the stage to receive your certificate. After receiving your certificate, proceed down the stairs to the foyer area where a head and shoulders photograph will be taken. You will then be directed to return to your seat. We hope that you will enjoy this occasion.
1, 2, 1.
By virtues of the powers vested in me as the Principal and Vice-Chancellor of the University of South Africa, I constitute this a gathering of a congregation of UNISA. Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to join us in silent prayers, meditations, and affirmations to give thanks to the achievements and accomplishments that we're here to honor this morning. Can we have a moment of silence? Thank you. May I request the procession to be seated and all of you, our guests, to be seated. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Then I'm very happy because it means we are all here this morning, excited to celebrate real accomplishments. I'm sorry that you cannot see me. I need my colleagues to help me to see you. Thank you. I tried to help myself, but it still doesn't work. So, colleagues, I tried to help myself, but it still didn't work. Thank you. I think it's mine. Then I can see you now. So I often say tall people forget that those who have a little bit of a height closer to the ground still need to see everybody. Thank you very much. let me take this opportunity to acknowledge the Chancellor of the University of South Africa, His Excellency President Thabo Mbeki, the former President of the Republic of South Africa, also an alumnus of the University of South Africa. I thought I would hear. Thank you. Let me also recognize the Chairperson of Council of the University of South Africa, Dr. Diau Musia, and members of Council present here this morning. And therefore, in every country, in every province, there are national leaders that we must acknowledge, for they are sent to lead the country, but to ensure that our aspirations, our dreams are also expressed. In this graduation, we're quite appreciative because you who will be graduating, you'll have amongst you to witness the opportunity of leading the country as you lead the world. Amongst us present are our guests, especially the Premier of the Northern Cape present this morning, Dr. Zet Saul. Can I request a round? And he's here accompanied by Mrs. Saul, and we're quite appreciative of your presence, the Premier. We appreciate your leadership. Let me recognize the executive management of the university, represented by Dr. Lukubu, the acting deputy registrar, the deans of the colleges, especially Professor Makwe and all deans present, or their representatives, Dr. B, the Ms. Bupape, the regional director, the one who's hosting you this morning, dignitaries from the provincial and local government, and friends of the University of South Africa in attendance virtually and in here. And in this instance, we have Dr. M.B. Chabalala, the head of community safety, roads and transports in this province of Free State, sorry, in the Free State province. Can we give her a round of applause? And we have Dr. G. Zake, the Chief Director of Public Works present. I also request that we acknowledge her presence through an applause. And of course, today cannot be a beautiful day without us students, the ones who are graduating this morning. Can I request a round of applause for them as we celebrate them? And therefore, distinguished members of the audience, ladies and gentlemen, the executive leaders, the leaders of the colleges of the University of South Africa that are here this morning, we also appreciate your presence. College of Graduate Studies, Professor Brown, representing the deanery, College Executive Management, already stated, College of Human Sciences, Professor L. Jacobs, representing the college, College of Economic and Management Sciences, all representatives, Professor N.V. Muraka, the Director of School of Management Sciences and the delegation, College of Science, Engineering and Technology, represented by Professor Pulua, college representative, and all who are with them. College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, we recognize Professor Libelo, Director of School of Agriculture and Life Sciences, and all delegates from the college, College of Education, Professor Serutu and Professor Makwe, and then College of Accounting Sciences, Dr. Sakudi, as well as the TM School. We're quite appreciative, including the Graduate School of Business Leadership at UNISA. All friends of the university, you are all welcome to the University of South Africa, the University of the Land, the university committed to shaping futures and to ensuring that we are the partner to the public sector, the private sector, civil society, our communities to ensuring that we produce the best citizens, the best intellectuals, the best agents of change in our society, in a world that is facing geopolitical tectonic shifts that require us to ask the questions, what is the value and benefit of education? How do those who are educated, how do they lead themselves? How do they lead their families? How do they lead society to ensuring that amongst us, there are no people who sleep without food, who do not have shelter, who do not have voices to speak in order to contribute to their own participation in the worlds that they live in. And therefore, when we come to the graduation at UNISA, it's not only the students, our students who will be graduating, that we draw on their excellence, but we do from you, members of the family, the loved ones, who have come here to support them, to demonstrate the value of education, to celebrate with them the accomplishments they've made. Sometimes you've seen them cry because they couldn't succeed in some areas of their studies. Some of us students would have taken 7 years to finish a 4-year degree. But we celebrate even those who struggled even the most, because resiliency is a test and a mark of commitment. And if you're one of those students who had it hard, who was resilient, who kept on committing to the accomplishment, to the destination, which is this graduation, we celebrate you. Can you give those a round of applause? Oftentimes, even when you struggled, you are afraid to say, hey, it was a tough journey. Please don't be afraid. The toughest of journeys make the best and the strongest, who are resilient and who will go on to society to remind others never to give up, but to always have the determination, the commitment, the spirit, the will, the agency to pursuing that which is important. And therefore, it is my honor and privilege, on behalf of all UNISA epistemic communities, to welcome you to these winter graduations, where we are celebrating not only the successes of our students, but the academicians who invested their intellect, their research, their training, their teaching, their technical, digital know-how, but also their own journeys of leadership to mentor, to hold the hands of those who are studying through our university. And therefore, to the academicians of this university, I'd like you to give them a round of applause. No, I'm hearing the round of applause from family members. These are the ones who have to express their gratitude to their... And you know why? Because we have the privilege of not giving them our certificates if they don't. I'm just joking. Therefore, colleagues, as I said, on behalf of a cleaner at UNISA, an academic, a landscape artist, a professional, a technical laboratory assistant, all these come together to ensure that you who are graduating will have received the requisite support that is necessary in your learning journey. And we are all proud that we've all come together as a collective to support you. Why is it important to celebrate academicians of UNISA? Because this is the largest university in the country and in the continent, responsible for at least 400,000 students. No university in this country, in this world, has those numbers in the scale, the complexity, the jurisprudence or jurisdictions that are so diverse in our country, in our continent, and in the world. I think they deserve a round of applause. And equally, beyond being the largest university in the country, in the continent, The history of this university is that it is the grandmother of all universities in our country, perhaps even in the region, and also the first university in the world to teaching via distance open education modality. I think UNISA deserves a round of applause. It's not just the grandmother of the higher education system in our country, the progenitor of higher education, but this is the university through the College of Education that is committed to producing 51 or 52% of the teachers in our country in private and public schools. The teachers, the special schools, the teachers come from this university, and therefore 51% contribution of teaching in public and private education is something that cannot be taken for granted. Equally, the College of Accounting Sciences produces 30% of chartered accountants, and majority of whom come from what the euphemism says previously disadvantaged. You know what that means. And equally important, colleagues, the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, one of the foremost colleges that's important for issues of food security, food sovereignty, how we conserve the environment, ecology, how we ensure that the climatic changes that we are witnessing in our country, in the world, as we do the solidarity with the people of Eastern Cape, the ones who passed on because the floods and the rains would have taken them. These are the people who are not just talking to us about food, but they're talking to us about how do we preserve, conserve our environment? How do we get ready and adapt to these environments and the challenges that we face? And to them, I'd like us to express a round of appreciation. And of course, colleagues, the College of Economic and Management Sciences, the Business School, the College of Accounting Sciences, the TM School on Public and International Affairs. These are the colleges at the center of ensuring that you, as the graduate of the University of South Africa, are able to create value for society, to create businesses, to ensure that you're not only looking for a job, that the critical skills that you have garnered at UNISA enable you not to say, what is it that the government can do for me? But because I've been educated in this important university that allowed me to be a self-leader, as I am a community leader, to starting and creating own businesses. And even when it fails, never to lose or to give up, but to look for mentors and those who can help you and aid you in building a strong economy. And therefore, to them too, I'd like you to give them a round of applause. It's shaky, but I'm very appreciative. I hope after you graduate, then you'll realize what we mean, because you'll know whose footprints you're working under. And finally, colleagues, we consider graduations as sacred. They're sacrosanct. They're as beautiful as we pray for our families. And when each of us are graduating in this important stage, we would like to hear their names. And therefore, if you celebrate your candidate, the person to whom you have come here, in this beautiful hall, where decisions have been made about this important province, it is very important that you allow them to be celebrated. Sometimes we just overcrowd the others. And if we are able to ululate or call our people or sing their clan names, we forget that the other one, sometimes who may be an orphan, who may need even more your solidarity, is not celebrated because you've overcrowded them with cheers for your loved one. So I'd like us, as this beautiful congregation of UNISA, to celebrate a student that will walk through this beautiful red carpet. Welcome to UNISA. Welcome to the home of leaders. Welcome to the university that's your partner and committed to shaping futures with you. Registration is still open. You can still, as you are in the graduations, if you're not graduating, you must be inspired by those who are graduating. And as we say at UNISA, it's never too late to enroll. Here, we have 23 years graduating, and we also have over 65 graduating. For indeed, it's never too late to graduate. Welcome. And therefore, colleagues, before we start the conferment of the degrees and diplomas of the University of South Africa, to which I've already requested you, our colleagues in communications tell me that you who are graduating today, if you're not trending, if you're not inspiring other young people or those in your families, in your society, to make education an important resource, or as they say, to make education fashionable, then you will have lost out. They say the social media must be used for positive purposes, and they expect you in Twitter, or you call it X, I'm still old school, on X, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and all the virtual platforms to ensure that you invite other youth and young adults to value education as you have done. So if you're not trending, and if UNISA is not trending, if you don't tag UNISA, then it will be your own problem, not ours. So they say. But we also request you, colleagues, to keep your phones on, but your volume off. Precisely because we have taught our students that we live in the digital economies. Your phone is a workstation, as it is a communication platform with family and loved ones, and therefore you may be needing to still making sure your economy is strong as you are participating here. So the volume must be off. But if you look at this stage, you'll see that majority of us are disabled, live with disabilities we cannot see. And therefore, if you put your torch on, it projects on us. That may not be enabling universal access. We therefore request you to be attentive to that. And finally, colleagues, we request, because we are recording the graduations, we would like 50 years later, when your grandchildren would like to know where you studied, what you studied, how it was, how you were celebrated, we request that you do not leave the hall before the end of the ceremony to make it a dignified event that 50 years later you'll still be proud of. Thank you very much. By virtues of the powers entrusted to me, I shall now proceed to confer. No. Colleagues, I was ready to confer the degrees, but I would have failed in my duty because I have to request Professor Makwe with a few words to represent our Chancellor and to deliver the Chancellor's address. Professor Makwe, you are welcome to the podium, to the lectern. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Vici. Good morning, colleagues. Huamwara. Batong. Ke ka tsela le ntumedisang ka yona eo. Dumelang. A re dumedisaneng hantle. Thank you so much, Madam VC, for this opportunity. I need to acknowledge the Chair of Council, Dr. Musia, who is here today, members of Council who are also representing us, and I heard that the Premier of the Free State is here with us. So, the Northern Cape. Oh, sorry, the Premier of Northern Cape is here with us today. Re a leboha haholo to make time so that you can be with us and celebrate with us this very special day that we have today. Congratulations to the graduates, but we are going to call your names and cap you, and until that, you are not a graduate yet. So I've been asked to warm the room up so that when you pass by here, you are going to be graduates. But I just want to thank the family, your families, your grandmothers who prayed for you, your mothers, your fathers who brought soup and made sure when you were crying because we were not too nice to you, you went to your sisters or your mothers, those long phone calls that you called us names that I wouldn't repeat here. But today, we know that you are going to be here, and you are here, and all this was about today. Everything that you've done. You had a dream when you first enrolled, and you decided that I want to be a teacher. I want to be a social worker. I want to be an agriculture person. So you made that decision, and this decision is bearing fruit today. So what I would like you to do, I want you, when you step through the stage, you stand here, you forget, you get so nervous. I know that. So you step here, and you step on this, and then you look there. There are people who are going to take pictures of you. And I'm going to be in that picture if I'm calling your name. So I need to look nice, and therefore you need to smile for me. Those pictures are going to your grandmother's houses, your uncle's houses. So those pictures are permanent. They are permanent. And if you say you've graduated at UNISA and they question you, you can take them to every house and say, this is me when I was graduating. So please look nice. We understand that it can be intimidating, but we also know that this is it is your day. Now, back to what I'm here for. I am here to present a lecture on behalf of the second democratically elected president of South Africa, His Excellency President Mbeki, who's also very proud of you, and I'm sure he's watching where he is, and he's proud to see you as a unison walking across the stage. We all know that the journey has not been easy. There's been a lot of tears in the way, and we know that at times you felt like giving up. But we thank you for your resilience, because if you had given up, we wouldn't be standing here and celebrating this special day with you. There are times when you even thought that, is it really worth my time to go through this? But you persevered. There are so many things that we pushed back to you, read, resubmit, but you still did that. And we are grateful that today you had made it a point that your parents and your families that believed in you are here with you. And newly graduates, you are one in the million. There are so many people who came before you. As the VC was saying, we are the grandmother of the university that started more than 150 years ago. So there are many people who walked across this threshold. But there were other people who were not even allowed to walk anywhere or even enter any university for a longest time. But this university allowed women, it also allowed black women to graduate. The first female to graduate from this university is Agnes Ellen Lewis, who obtained a degree in 1886. And at that time, the university was called the University of Cape of Good Hope. The reason that we say that is that this university started in 1873, but the woman graduated to graduate in 1886. It took 40 years for a black woman to graduate. So there are so many things that have blocked people from walking across the stage. And therefore, I'm saying this and reminding you that you shouldn't take this for granted. Some of you in this room, you may be the first in your home, in your family, in your community. You are the first to graduate. And remember that when you are the first, you are already positioning this family, this community in a certain trajectory. And therefore, it is important for you to remember that this university opened doors for you and enabled you, irrespective of where you are. It enabled you to be able to come through. Even during this time of technology, you could press a few buttons and you are ushered into this big University of South Africa without even having to go anywhere to look for it. So we are grateful about that. Even those other universities that had been around for a long time during COVID, and I know all of you you were studying through COVID. During COVID, everybody stopped, but you continued to study because of this university, because of the digitalization project that the university enabled you to do the work that you are doing. We are doing that as a university because central to this university, central to the mandate of this university, the reason that this university exists is the social justice. We are here to ensure that we address the social injustices that we have seen in the past. Central to the principles of social justice is that you, in a socially just society, you respect civil society. You respect you respect economic, political, and cultural rights of each and every individual. And by so doing, you are ensuring that whoever that is there, you are there to support them. And we hope that after you have gone through this university, this august university that has kept vice chancellors, that has kept Nobel Peace Prize winners, that has kept renowned scientists and businessmen, that you will also be one of those activists. When you go into the community, you will be one of those activists that ensures that those communities, people are treated with dignity, because we taught you that in this space, we are enabling people to be the best that they could become. Graduates, it is important as you graduate that you carry the torch of social justice. Let that torch shine bright wherever you go. When people are down, it's your responsibility to pick them up. Whatever that you do, never look down at any person. The only time that you do that is when you reach out to them and lift them up. And all this depends on you. We complain a lot about this country. We complain a lot about things, but become the change that you are. Become the change, because it is up to you as an individual. We can say whatever we say, the premier is here, the government, the municipality, the whatever. We can say all those things, but begin to look at yourself and say, with the education that I received at UNISA, in this beautiful university, what is it that I'm going to contribute? That little legacy that you are going to leave in your home, in your community, in schools where you are going to teach. Some of you, I have to talk to teachers, some of you, you'll be teaching children who don't even know how to socialize because they grew up with cell phones, that's their world. You have to teach them how to play. You have to teach them how to socialize. You have to teach them how to listen to other people. But because we have enabled you to do that, that's why you are here. And we hope that whatever that you do, you go out into the world, and we are confident, we go out into the world and correct that is not right. And be a social justice person. Ensure that people are being looked out. Go out into the world and make us proud. Be the future that South Africa wants. I'm saying this, that the future that South Africa wants starts with you. Congratulations.
And colleagues, Professor Makwe says this university is not just a grandmother of universities. It is not just the progenitor of university system or higher education system in our country. It's a university that has been a partner to society, to government, and to other universities to making education an important resource. I also hear her in her wisdom, inviting you to be active agents in partnership with all who want to build the best South Africa, the best African continent, and the best ideals that Africans can take to the world. Can I request a round of applause on her message? Thank you. At this point, colleagues, by virtues of the powers entrusted to me as the Principal and Vice-Chancellor, I shall now proceed to confer the degrees and diplomas of UNISA on the candidates whose names appear in the program. I request the representatives of the colleges to present the candidates to me. Thank you.
Madam Vice-Chancellor, Sanet Jacobs receives the degree Master of Arts. The degree was obtained with distinction.
Madam Vice-Chancellor, Ritumezi Grace Rataho received the degree of Master of Science.
Madam Vice-Chancellor, the following candidate receives the degree of Master of Business Administration, Kenilwe Vivian Mosupa.
Madam Vice-Chancellor, Cornelia Johanna Bretz received the degree of Master of Education. Madam Vice-Chancellor, Lindiwe Mavis Matavise received the degree of Bachelor of Science Honors. Okay. I think I need to repeat it again. Madam Vice Chancellor, Lindiwe Mavis Matavise received the degree of Bachelor of Science Honors. Yeah. Caius. Okay.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honors. Mulalu Madotsi. Timakaso Sibeko. Tlalane Ernestina Zakaria. Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Science Honors. Anika Anen Gedald, the degree obtained with distinction. Kidiboni Megi Kang. Nompilo Nontobeko Magwaza. The degree obtained with distinction. Tembi Mashibini. Ongolani Venin Maswanganyi. Ritumesi Naledi Van Bellins.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidate received the degree of Bachelor of Engineering Technology Honors. Nomatemba Eugenia Hagahi.
Madam Vice Chancellor, The following candidate received the degree of Bachelor of Theology Honours, Kaiser Government, Makona. Just give me your card. Madam Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honours, Zitubile Aquilina Duma. Nokuzola Atlehang Letaho. Chofelo Liukwetsi. Busisiwe Mabela. Kiurate Mankhole. Madam Vice-Chancellor, the following candidate receives the degree of Bachelor of Arts Honours. Leboheng Sebabatso Makina. Manika. I know. Moleboeng Veronica Matona. Nondumisu Babalwa Mkiteka. Matupelu Modise. Nkubile Faith Ngeka. Kholewe Jennifer Ndebele. Wendy Ntloko. Mkatiseng Elise Chalalatsi. Not. Say again. How do I say it? Chalatsi. There we go. Madam Vice-Chancellor, the following candidates received the Bachelor of Information Science Honours, Sabisu Moloi. Khadibulai Lydia Mushoko.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Honours. Leroy Crowe. Abram Giamfi. Arthur Lesedi Jonas. Tuliswa Liao. Retabile Reini Alicia Mapuzi obtained the degree with distinction. Laura Manago Mokwena. Matsidiso Mantele Flora Mondela. Mafusi Patricia Musia obtained the degree with distinction. Matsidiso Precious Mtileni. Lorica Reitus. Maditaba Vitalina Tsita. Lizelle Chrétien Vessels obtained the degree with distinction.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Education Honours. Buchile Gojo. Gabaitsewe Sophie Lonake. Mpho Retabile Magojani. Anna Mfene. Usindiwe Memoria Mgabe. Mpho Benis Mufukeng. Onkarabetse Ansa Munchonyani. Refilwe Precious Mposi. Retabile Priscilla Peto.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Science in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. Lorraine Andrea Visachi. Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, The following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Consumer Science. Tshepiso Promise Molatudi. Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Consumer Science. Palesa Rama Fotole. Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Tsenulo Choche. Sergio Curtis French. Kifilwe Bridget Moabi. Salang Tsekwa.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Social Work. Chwaita Bomba. Lirato Jacqueline Galosikwe. Galosikwe. Samuel Patrick Hlehla. Mamadile Nyakalo Makongwane. Mpo Sharona Mosia. Twarelo Innocentia Mutaung. Mamelo Amanda Mutwaneng, degree obtained with distinction. Twanaki Emeli Ntulinyane. Matsidiso Lirato Gladys Palazzi. Hodu Lydia Sesing. Simakaleng N. Shingira, degree obtained with distinction. Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree Bachelor of Information Science. Sorry, I'm going to say that again. Nchenyelezo Petrus Mukwena. Nchenyelezo. Ntsigelelo Emmanuel Kaiso. Tebo Eusebia Ramaisa. Madam Vice Chancellor, Kihumoditswe and Rionika Motsamai receives the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Nursing Science. Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates receive the degree Bachelor of Arts. Tsehofatso Rilebogile Fielder. Matabo Joyce Madise. Bosilwane Caroline Masikwa. Matebe Crescentia Mnueba. Rifilwe Lucia Mueti. Lirato Lucia Muketi. Jacodine Alexa Spielman. Mali Kotier, degree obtained with distinction. Dimakato Elizabeth Ndlangalala. Palisa Tabo. Sindiswa Lorraine Bayo. Carla Boats, degree obtained with distinction. Ntabeleng Faith Khotlaetsi. Khotlaetsile. Rifilwe Barbara Mokenela. Bridget Diketseng Ndaba. Masiho Lawrence Petras. Orifile Riabaka Pula.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree Bachelor of Business Administration. Sue Helen Grotius. Mpati Ditebogo Motsapi. Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree Bachelor of Commerce. Lesedi Olivia Mkhotu. Ayanda Kula.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Science. Mziotolo Nkosinati Baleni. Petros Johannes Hugo, degree obtained with distinction. Matapelo Rebecca Matabani. Johannes Christian Foster.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Science in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. Stephanie Decker receives the degree with distinction. Clarice Law. Busisiwe Trushia Mabote. Rifilwe Ramulula. Pindile Chabangu.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the degree of Bachelor of Education. Juan Buota. Mahadi Bridget Botsani. Masego Jessica Dipoko. Krista Melissa Francis, the degree is obtained with distinction. Banabohle LC Gaburukwe. Eugene Jacobs, degree is obtained with distinction. Lerato Constance Kirileng. Tandeka Kundai. Nyaleng Maureen Kwena. Chantel Eileen Krier. Megan Hatley Krier. Susan Kin. Maserami Lichela. Sandra Muleboheng Makamela. Malifu Patricia Maitsidi.
Monaheng Victor Makamule. Monseng Mantutle. Renier Makrem. Refilwe Marumo. Maliboro Adelaide Masinda. Halifele Lloyd Matoga. The degree is obtained with distinction. Tabile Matau Mateis. Zianda Valencia Badu. Tabiso Grigori Mwanchui Mang. Patricia Lekhari Mualusi. Dipuo Aida Mufukeng. Selebaleng Mogadile. Malitsatsi Susan Morapi. Lydia Shelley Mogorosi. Masabata Cynthia Muilwa. Masontaha Mukweda. Senate Francina Mukwena. Relebohile Francina Mukoloko. Bangiwe Jane Bagamela. Joyce Buitumelo Mukopelwa. Rosina Nini Muleko. Madilo Lucia Muloi. The degree is obtained with distinction. Susan Mangaka Muloi. Ntsitseng Angelina Munyani. Khalalelo Maria Muopedi. Tabiseng Lydia Muotsi. Clementia Morao. Selwane Gertrude Mutlou. Tabiseng Josephine Mphohle. Priscilla Babalwa Msebenzi. Kidiboni Lydia Ndlovu. Nkabisang Ndubani. Thank you. Mamudiehi Lize Ndweni. Ntombizile Winnie Nzima. Puseletso Maria Oliphant. Ke a leboha phuti ya gae. Makaliseng Paulina Posholi. Cherise Potgieter, the degree is obtained with distinction. Tandi Susan Khadebe. Masabata Selina Ramaliho. Koketso Violet Samon. Molebohen Cheryl Sefali. Dieketseng Priscilla Sekolonyani. Tebogo George Senye. Thank you. Tsepang Skippers. Liz Marie Smith. Makodisang Elizabeth Tanyani. Kelehang Lisbeth Tetana. Musimani gape Christopher Tuwe. Mapuleng Eni Tsubella. Kiara Lynn van der Walt. Fiona van Staden. Brandon Fenter. Charlize Caroline Fenter, the degree is obtained with distinction. Homolemo Innocentia Mukoto. Marike Fenter, degree is obtained with distinction. Jomari Fenk, degree obtained with distinction. Kelebogile Patronella Fort. Devlin Cohen Fries. Bingotlo Andronika Baraganye. Mapaseka Anastasia Mukwema. Ga ke ipopele mese molaolwa. Sadia Pebai. Martha Jacoba Skuman. Jose Elrico Hani. Rizane Hunter. Swongile Jonas. Malishani Caroline Kilehe. Boitumelo Dorothy Musiredi. Delaney Musgrave. Musgrave. Innocentia Mpo Peko. Stephanus Frederick Smith. Brenda Chitsiku. Khotso Mulaba. Boipelo Patience Mogorosi.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the diploma candidates will now be introduced to you. Madam Vice Chancellor, Maria Mamuelasi Makwala received postgraduate diploma in the College of Science, Engineering and Technology.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the diploma in the College of Economic and Management Sciences. Apologies. Postgraduate diploma in the College of Economic and Management Sciences. Lehlohonolo Abraham Moletsane. Tsulufelo Francina Morena, Saul. Nomsa Innocentia Sehloho.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the postgraduate diploma in the College of Education. Krista Liana Bennett receives the degree with distinction. Tenjiwe Notumazele Dapula obtained the diploma with distinction. Haronisha Hildegard Kiwi obtained the diploma with distinction. Mohau Ben Manyarela. John Ipileng Matlaba. Itumeleng Gratitude Mofokeng. Madam Vice Chancellor Mpitsen Celestina Nkalai receives the diploma with a distinction. Love Delia Buipelo Philanda. Witumelo Churetha Suichaleng. Mudiehi Mary Tsiu. Samson Tswaedi. Madam Vice Chancellor, Nokanyo Ula obtained the diploma with distinction.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the postgraduate diploma in the Graduate School of Business Leadership. Monica Buisiwa Buoland. You can go with the class. Is it Mosimane Khape? Okay. Mosimane Khape Letlogela. Matsieng Dina Mahlele. Mamotsing Aleta Matlanyane. Luazi Gordon Mdokwana. Bokang Alfred Mokali. Benedict Neo Mokoma. Congratulations. Matseliso Melina Molibeli. Mantua Victoria Molisenyane. Kodani Alex Munyai. Keegan Manda Calvin Mushota. Motusi Lawrence Chenkeng.
Madam Vice Chancellor, Dikeledi Jane Sitsila receives the diploma in the College of Human Sciences, and it is obtained with distinction.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the diploma in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. Martha Magrieta Jovener receives the diploma with distinction. Juliette Jubet. Refilwe Nteboheng Mofokeng. Madam Vice Chancellor Rochelle Mulder received the diploma with distinction. Madam Vice Chancellor Elzina Terblands also received the diploma with distinction.
Madam Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the diploma in the College of Science, Engineering and Technology. Abraham Mentor. Telingwani Philemon Mweti. Imameleng Merinda Tsele.
Madam Acting Vice Chancellor, the following candidates received the diploma in the College of Economic and Management Sciences. Kiribonyi Ellen Kaweng. Lesedi Majapage. Gugulethu Pamela Nwase. Makaziwe Tina Sidali. Nokupiwa Tenteng. Madam Vice Chancellor, Donald Tebo Holibusa receives the National Diploma.
Yeah.
That thing is gone, so I don't know how you're going to manage.
It's there. I was waiting for a tool of assistance. It's like a chalk. Colleagues, it's their day, so I'd like the last one to come so that we do the closure with all our graduates here. So please, we could be in silence for a moment. Thank you. Premier Sol, I am definitely to wish this was Northern Cape. Colleagues, the people of the city of flowers, the province of the sky and the mountains, kissing, to creating the warriors, the icons, the women leaders like Mantatisi Mantsopa who come from this province, that remind us that it is the role of a woman as it is the role of a man, it is the role of a boy as it is the role of a girl, to valuing education as an important asset. And at this point, colleagues, we have just witnessed something beautiful, something magnificent, something that invites in us, even if we're grappling with any challenge, to have a sense of hope, to believe, to understand that education is an invitation into that which is beautiful and invites us to be our best. And these colleagues who have graduated this morning make us joyous, joyful, and with gratitude, with thankfulness for what they testify to, that great will of our spirit in education. So I had some going, ooh, and some, ah. I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy because, as I say, this is the province of Mantatisi. This is the province of Mantsopa. This is where Wepner understood how to live with Basotho. And therefore, where we have come together to creating that mixture, that cohesion of societies, to building strong societies. And this is where the African spirit, our culture, our philosophy of celebrating must be evident, not what is done in the stadium or in the streets. So at this point, I'm going to request us in the spirit of Africa to applaud our graduates, to ululate as we understand them. Can I request you to give them a round of applause? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. How beautiful is that when compared to, I really think the younger ones or the generation after us must take seriously these ideas about being African. It is not enough to cry for decolonial education. It is not enough to cry for Africanization of our curriculum if we then lose the sacred aspects of who we are as people of Africa in all our shades. And therefore, even as we celebrate these graduations, our Africanness must always be projected in all its beauty. And therefore, to our graduates this morning, your academic achievement represents your tenacity and will to succeed. Similarly, the support you have received from your community, your family, represents our collective desire to succeed as a nation, as a continent, but also as the knowledge global community. In this sense, you have demonstrated that higher education is both a public good that we must cherish, promote, preserve, but also make sure that others have access to. I have no doubt that you have acquired the necessary knowledge, the skills that will improve the human condition anywhere in the world. The University of South Africa, your alma mater, has concluded 152 years of service in the world in creating thought leaders that continue to do exciting work in the world, very transformative, very innovative, and at the center of teaching, learning, research, engaged scholarship, resourcing multiple sectors in our society. And we request you to pay attention and to be a partner in that. I'm also aware in the Chancellor's speech, Professor Makwe reminded us that some of you are the first in your family to graduate. Can I ask those who are the first in their families, in their clans, perhaps in their communities, are the first to stand? Are you the first in your family to graduate? Don't be shy. Thank you. Thank you. What you represent is that idea of breaking the cycle, of being the one that catches the dreams for the family and also for the next generation. And we are very proud of you. Congratulations. And then, because this is a rewarding experience and being the first, it means you've broken the glass ceiling. It means, therefore, you must be that anchor in your family, in your society, to inspire others. I feel somewhat emotional about what you represent to our society. Let me ask those who succeeded with cum laude to stand up. Distinction. How special. Thank you, thank you. I think you're very special. The fact that you've succeeded with distinction is an inspiration to your peers, your contemporaries, so that they too can also aspire to outdoing themselves as well. But I have a recipe of how you get a distinction, colleagues. You may be seated. Congratulations. So I have a recipe. I discovered it. So you have to finish your degrees and then come back and do a postgraduate diploma or a diploma and then get a distinction. You beg it, it's part of your begging. So let's go there. I think it's quite important. Then colleagues, let me ask the colleagues who graduated with their diplomas to stand up. Diplomas. No, I think all the diplomas, please stand up. I have a message. Yes, I have a message. Yeah, I don't understand why today the instructions are not taken when in the exams you needed to have them. Can you please stand up? Colleagues, the professors at UNISA tell me that they're proud that you had the courage to pursuing your diplomas. But they say the sky is not the limit. And therefore, it is very important, now that you know you have the talent, the potential, and the intellectual aptitude to studying. Registration is open. We request you to pursue your degrees and not to be shy because you already understand the beauty of education. You may be seated. Let me request the colleagues who are receiving their degrees, honors, postgraduate diplomas to stand up. Quickly, colleagues. Can you give them? No, I did not ask you to sing. Where does that come from? No, colleagues. There are protocols. And as the colleagues who are graduating, in your degrees, in your honors, in your postgraduate diplomas. It means you're just close to the last 2 NQF levels in the qualifications framework of South Africa. To be like the premier, to have a title that says doctor next to your name, and to lead not just yourself or your family, but larger cohorts of people at work, at home, in society, in politics, in economy, and in the global arena. And therefore, colleagues, equally to you, we have said to the diplomats, the sky is no longer the limit. To you, we say, the sky is the horizon of research. It is no longer that which we ask only from above. It is a space where the premier who is here with us can bear testament to the fact that the square kilometer array, that telescope that South African government invested in, so that we understand and help our country, our continent, and the world to communicate across and to understand science beyond the ground, is a very important asset. And therefore, we invite you equally to say, registration is still open. You're still fresh enough to remember the last examination and therefore to run and catch the master's research degree. And therefore, we wish you all the best. You may be seated. And can I request the master's candidates, graduates, to stand up? The master's. Colleagues, then family members, as the witnesses that have come here to support the loved ones. The second highest degree has 2 people graduating. Yet the degree program had so many graduating. And therefore, the same way that you supported our students to pursuing their education, may I please request you to be our partners, to request them to pursue their masters, because no country can strengthen its critical skills, its economy, its transformation, its imagination of the future, if we don't create large cohorts of people who graduate in masters and in their doctoral degrees, as these 2 colleagues represent. They have no option but to register for their PhD. Equally, they have no option to believe, because they have the masters, that they cannot look behind. Look behind you. Look behind you, colleagues. So these colleagues, look behind you properly. You can turn and look behind you. Yeah, thank you. And therefore, thank you. And therefore, colleagues, we ask you to turn back, precisely because when you have a master's and a doctoral degree, it's not just for you. It's for you to help society, to strengthen the opportunities for those who aspire to be where you are or even beyond, to get the support. So it's not for you just to celebrate for yourselves. We are proud of you, but there's a bigger mission, an invitation to partner with these colleagues in their beautiful gowns who have gone on to get their doctoral degrees, but not just their doctoral degrees, to do innovations, to do research, to form many people in the country, in the continent, in the world, to write on things that others don't even think should be written about, to follow insects and say, what is the role of this insect in the ecosystem, to look into the skies and check what the square kilometer array, the meerkat, and the space sciences are about. These are the people who are concerned about aviation and aeronautics, who are concerned about what do we do about the Africa Ocean, sometimes referred to as the Indian Ocean, and the Atlantic Ocean that surrounds Africa. These are the people who look at how the technologies, the conversion technologies, the digitization become important tools to advance our economies, our societies. These are the people who look at how biosciences, biotechnologies, as well as nanotechnologies become resources in ensuring that Africans own and understand the food they eat, understand the resources and the sciences or the minerals of the country, how they could be of benefit. And also these are the people, colleagues, who are looking at how to humanize, to create philosophies that recognize all of us as humanly as we are in our diversities, how we humanize a world that is fractured by violence, by gender-based violence and femicide, by distortions of the past such as apartheid, by racism, by inattention to people who live with disabilities. These are the people who invite us through their research, their science, their teaching and learning and gay scholarship to constantly be partners with all of you to making sure that knowledge is not hidden, but it becomes a resource. And therefore, you colleagues who are standing, aspire and engage them so that you can be a resource. Thank you very much. Congratulations to you. We appreciate you. And as I said, colleagues, now that I've congratulated all of you, unfortunately, I cannot go here and not tell you why it's important to be associated with UNISA. And I'll do that in 2 minutes. One, in 2020, UNISA was ranked amongst top 12, 10, 12. In 2025, we're top 6. In research, the Department of Higher Education has in its research output reports for 2023, has put UNISA as number 6 in the publications. UKZN, number 1, UP, number 2, number 3 is, which one, colleagues? No, UJ is number 1. UJ is number 1, UKZN number 2, UP number 3, Stellenbosch number 4, Wits University number 5, UNISA number 6, and Northwest number 7, University of the Free State number 8, UWC number 9, and therefore it's very important for us to aspire even to being top 5 of our universities. The second is that just 2 weeks ago, as I said, or a month ago, University of South Africa continued to receive an unqualified audit, meaning our governance systems, our fiduciary systems, and how we manage resources. We ensure that we follow through on the governance and on the management principles to treat the investment that the government is making and yourselves are making with dignity. Third, the University of South Africa has become a partner with international organizations to creating opportunities for you all over the world. As I speak, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Strategy, Dr. Molapo, the CIO of the University of South Africa, are all in Turkey to ensure that amongst the Times Higher Education ranked universities, that the place of UNISA is registered amongst the best institutions in the pursuit of science for you, colleagues, and not just for the professorate that are here. And we're quite proud of the international footprint that UNISA is making. Finally, you can graduate in a university where the democratic leaders, such as Nelson Mandela, I expect you to applaud. You, the graduates, maybe not your friend. The founding father of our democracy, President Nelson Mandela, is a graduate and alumnus of this university. The same is true to His Excellency President Beki, the Chancellor of the University of South Africa, is an alumnus of this university. And the current President of the Republic of South Africa is also an alumnus of this university. And to have 3 democratic presidents is an invitation for us to ensure that this university is a site of excellence at all times. And you have the duty to help us to do so. So if you don't aspire to be a president, we don't know what you will be aspiring to be. Did you hear me? But don't worry, we also produce opposition political party leaders. If you think about Dr. Mutsuku Peku, the leader of the Pan-African Congress Party, he's a graduate of this university. I think you need to give him a round of applause. If you think about Dr. Musibudi Mangena, under whose leadership, when he was the Minister of Science and Technology, the first invention, a partnership between universities and the CSIR, produced the first electronic vehicle in the country, but also amongst the first in the world. And perhaps the innovation investment that did not, which was not part of that, is a challenge. But we can't be saying now, because people are buying EV cars from China or Germany or elsewhere, that universities in the continent and in the country are not doing their bit. Joule was that car that was produced under Musibudi Mangena, a graduate of UNISA. I think you need a round of applause. And equally, colleagues Musi Maimane, Silo Malema of the CIC, of the EFF, are graduates of this university. And if you think it's just John Steenhuisen is a student of UNISA. So we are a university that allows the diversities so that you reclaim the future for yourself, and we are very proud. But if you have 10 rand or 20 rands, can you lift it out? Maybe your parents have it, you don't have it. You're still looking, huh? If you look at who signed the 10 rand, the gentleman that has just been sworn as the Chancellor of the University of Stellenbosch, the Governor of the Central Bank of South Africa, is an alumnus of this university, Lesetja Kganyago. And even the first woman governor of the Central Bank is a graduate of this university. And we are therefore, Jill Marcus, we are therefore a university of leaders. If you don't aspire to be a leader, we don't know where you will have learned from. But if you aspire to be a leader, this is the university that invites you. And you don't have to be a leader only at UNISA or in our country, but in the world. John Aristide, the president of Haiti, graduated from this university. And therefore, if you look at the prime ministers of Namibia, of Zimbabwe, even Uncle Bob Mugabe has a degree from UNISA. So is also a former leader in this university. Professor Mandla Makanya, my predecessor, is a graduate of UNISA as well, the former Vice Chancellor of UNISA. And of course, Puleng Linkabula. I am also an alumnus of this university. So I'm a true testament that the investment that our country is doing, that the investment that
this professorate and those that they represent do must be for the benefit of society. We must build strong institutions, strong democracies, strong partnerships, so that our country succeeds, and it will succeed because of you, our graduates. Thank you very much. And colleagues, a colleague there was teasing me, they were saying I'm acting vice chancellor, and they were laughing. Somebody says, is that a coup d'etat? In a continent where there are many coup d'etats, and we were just laughing. No, we are not acting, but because we have at least 190 or 193 graduations, we sometimes have to help each other. And therefore, please understand, it wasn't a twist of the tongue by intention, but precisely because we work together as a collective. Finally, colleagues, my colleagues sitting here and those at UNISA, in the 26 centers in the country, including in Ethiopia and presence in Eritrea, in the United Kingdom, in the US, are asking me to ask you a few questions before you leave. They ask me, how many of you have traveled, you the graduates, how many of you have traveled all the 9 provinces? Families watching, if you're not telling us the facts, they will ask you, how many of you? So, not many of you. So they invite your colleagues because you're graduating from the University of South Africa, the only university that has been asked to use the name of the country. It's very important as a graduate of UNISA to understand the diversities of the provinces and what South Africa represents. And therefore, we know that you have money. We saw your nails. Even some of you lost your glitter on the stage. So we know that you have money. You can bus it, you can fly, you can pull cars, you can take the train, you can take a horse. You're next to the neighbors who use horses to travel. And therefore, colleagues, it's very important that you optimize the importance of knowing. There's a saying that to travel is to learn. And therefore, we invite you to do so. How many of you have traveled to 1 or 2 or 3 countries in the SADC region or in the continent? No, if you come from Lesotho, don't stand. Because we know that you're so closed in. Don't worry, my maternal people come from Lesotho, so I understand. You're so closed, You're so close that you have no option but to come to South Africa, So we understand. You may be seated, yes, you may be seated. But if you're a South African, here in Free State, and you don't know Lesotho, that is just 100 kilometers. That's laziness. No, we shouldn't laugh. My colleagues here say you must go next week. It's closer than going to Johannesburg. They don't understand why you have not taken the effort, at least to register one country in the continent other than South Africa. Lesotho gives you an opportunity, but Eswatini is just 600 kilometers away. Botswana, for those who come from Northern Cape, or even Namibia are so close. So colleagues, make it your business to know the world. And we say, therefore, with the percentage beverages, I know that when you go out, you were going to get a few to add on. We are saying, please use that money to travel to these adjacent countries so that you widen your horizons. How many of you have passports? SM-Pass, colleagues. Not ID. Yeah. Okay. If you don't have a passport, Home Affairs is open on Monday. So you can also use the percentage beverages, or the music system, be your own DJ this afternoon, so that you redirect the money. How many of you have traveled outside the African continent? Yeah. So you see how few you are? So we say, because we have said to you, the sky is not the limit, we would like you to know that the world is your theater of knowledge. It is for you to claim it. It is for you to know that because your qualifications and the credentials that UNISA has allow you to have the world as a place and space where you can enact your science, where you can look for work or create work. Our credentials, our accreditation is not just with the Council on Higher Education in South Africa, DHET, or the local professional accreditation bodies. We also subject ourselves to the Commonwealth of Learning, to the American education accreditation systems, and therefore, your degree is global. There's no reason why you should only be local. So be global and locally relevant. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And therefore, colleagues, may I please request you to stand up for the singing of the national anthem of the Republic of South Africa. May I request you to look at the anthem, which is on page 25 of the graduation booklet. May I request, whilst we sing the national anthem, we sing it with pride, with joy, because it embodies the aspirations of our societies, the dreams of our forebears for the democracy that we enjoy and enjoy today because of all the efforts that would have been put. We know that there are people who lost lives fighting for the freedom and democracy that we are celebrating today. And therefore, we can honor being the inheritors of this freedom, of this liberation, of this invitation to continue building our country and our continent by singing our national anthem with dignity, with pride. And for those who can sing, to make sure that your voices shine. For those of us who may not be as gifted, to ensure that we still join you with dignity. Thank you. And therefore, colleagues, before I dissolve this congregation, whilst our graduates and ourselves are standing, may I ask them to look to turn towards your loved ones, colleagues. Just quickly. Wait. Can I please, may I please request you to wait? I want them to show you what they came here for. I'd like you, colleagues, to take your hats, to raise your certificates, to take your hat and show it up to them. Thank you. Thank you. You can turn backwards. And therefore, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, now that we have sung the national anthem of the Republic of South Africa, now that we have celebrated, let me request you to remain standing, to allow me to dissolve the congregation, but also to allow the procession to also leave the hall with dignity. And therefore, colleagues, by the virtues of the powers entrusted to me as the Principal and Vice-Chancellor of the University of South Africa, I dissolve this congregation of UNISA.